Well, I'm very happy to be here today, and I'm always grateful that I'm still here walking this land, this most beautiful piece of land in all the world. And this winter will be my 70th winter walking this land. And I'm always so grateful, especially on a day like this, that we're still able to witness beautiful weather, the beautiful land, and all my beautiful people. I was at a fundraiser on Saturday with the BC Liberal government and was able to share a dinner with the Premier. I have to share with you that she had no kind words for the Green Party, lesser kind words for the NDP. If there's any BC Liberal Party members here, would you please stand up? I noticed my tablecloth is green. But I'm so very happy and refreshed that concerned citizens are taking up the struggle to protect the land that we cherished for so many generations. I wish to share with you that I was born a hereditary chief, and what I discovered later on in my life, the responsibilities of being that person. I inherited the struggle from my father and grandfather to not only protect this land, but to bring our people forward. The struggle to rid of ourselves of the provincial government and the Indian Affairs government from the federal government in Ottawa. When I first took the struggle over this year from Gary Feschuk, I met with the Ministry of Transport federally, and the words that she shared to all of us in West Vancouver were empty. And I made it known to her that her words didn't affect me whatsoever. When I asked her what she would do when devastation happens in Texada, she said, "Oh, the Coast Guard will be there." So my next question to her, I said, "What Coast Guard?" And since I took over leadership, I've brought an advertising group with me now. They document and cover everything that I do and say, and they were there and documented that meeting with the Ministry of Transport. Since then, we've sent many letters to the ministry. On Friday, we just sent one to Minister Bennett. Gary and I had breakfast with him 2 weeks ago when he announced to me that Site C was going to go forward. And at the breakfast meeting, he said, we may or may not construct it in a year or two. So he thought that was going to reassure me. But since then, we've been to the BC Aboriginal Awards, where we've met the chiefs from that area. And on Friday, we sent a letter in opposition to Site C Dam. But we haven't stopped in the struggle. As you know, the band has taken on the struggle in many layers, on many agendas, and we continue to do so. Gary Feschuk has continued to meet with Minister Bennett, trying to encourage him that clean energy is a better way than Site C Dam. Gary continues to meet with the regional chiefs to promote Site C and wind energy. And through that process, Gary is meeting with deputy ministers to promote that. And what we found between the ministries, there's a struggle happening of clean energy versus LNG and pipeline. So there is a struggle happening in the Parliament buildings, and we're hoping to advocate those deputy ministers, those ministers who will take on the struggle for clean energy. I was shocked to hear our minister, our premier, declare that LNG is going to be great for the economy. LNG is great for the country. Fracking, there's nothing wrong with fracking. She literally said that. I couldn't believe it. You know, and fracking are damaging not only the land, but killing animals in the north that sustain the native people in the north. When I met with the Ministry of Transportation federally, I stated to her that Sabine Channel was a main source of sustainability for our people, since we are salmon people and we depend wholly on salmon. And that was going to be devastating for us if she was going to contaminate that. And I further stated to her that we've been struggling to rebuild the devastation that happened here 150 years ago by multinationals who came in and cleaned out the energy, cleaned out the forest, the old growth, and damaged our watersheds. Then on many fronts, our leaders have been rebuilding what was done in the past. And now that it's going to be our turn to go back and start harvesting sustainably, it's all going to be contaminated once again. And she had nothing to say to me about that. But we continue to protect our watersheds along with the SCRD and the local governments. And we're very happy that we're collaborating with them. We're very happy that they are supporting us. I just got a letter from the mayor last week, and it was a resolution by his council stating that they are living on our land. They are admitting that they are here as our guests. So I found the mayor to be quite sincere, and as I left his office, I explained to him that there was only one thing missing from his office, and he said, "What's that, Chief?" I said, "A picture of your landlord." So I'm having a big blow-up done. But the bugger got me on the way out of his door that day. He slapped one of his big pins on my chest, and his secretary took a picture. I said, "You're going to get it." But no, we're very happy that times have changed, atmospheres have changed for the better. When I was a young chief in the 70s, it seemed like we were alone, struggling to try to protect our land, struggling to be independent, struggling to take over jurisdiction to protect what we had. But I'm very happy to see you all here today and taking on the battle. And that's what it's going to take, concerned citizens up and down the coast to take on this battle, because the federal government and the provincial government have dropped the ball in terms of protecting the environment, the land, and all of its resources for the greater good of all of our people. We thought we were the only ones that they were going to devastate, but it's going to be each and every one of us. And each and every one of us have to stand up together to take on that battle. And as you know, I've started my own TV show, and my group were in Vancouver negotiating with other networks to pick it up, APTN and others. And doing that, we are going to expose what the governments are trying to do. You should know that when I first appeared on the Vaughan Palmer Show in the Parliament buildings, the presidents of Unifor, Western Forest, picked that up and said, wow, there's a progressive chief. I think we want to meet with him. So I invited him here to a symposium of how we're going to develop a relationship in terms of harvesting sustainably. And we're going to change the way they did that in the past. So they're going to come here in the next couple of weeks. Vaughan Palmer's coming next weekend, and so on and so forth. So we're building that relationship. We're changing people's minds. And I see that's the way of taking on this battle, is that we have to do it with communication. And once again, I'm thanking you to be here to communicate and collaborate and work together. Thank you.